A librarian and a contrarian face off in this tale of a very reluctant reader. With the help of Miss Brooks, Missy's classmates all find books they love in the library. Books about fairies and dogs and trains and cowboys. But Missy dismisses them all. Still, Miss Brooks remains undaunted. Missy will find a book to love even if they have to empty the entire library. What story will finally win over this beastly, or discriminating child? One about an ogre, of course. Barbara Bottner and Michael Emberley pay playful homage to the diverse taste of child readers and the valiant libraries who are determined to put just the right book in each child's hands, including yours, my friends. Miss Brooks loves books, and I don't. Miss Brooks is our librarian. She loves books a lot. She loves The Runaway Bunny and Babar and Where the Wild Things Are and The Very Hungry Caterpillar. I asked Miss Brooks why she dresses up for reading circle. I want you to get as excited about books as I am, she says. I think Miss Brooks gets a little too excited, and I bet her costumes itch. Halloween means we each have to find a poem to share, but all the books with witches, ghosts, and goblins are checked out, and I hate pumpkins. So I make up a Halloween poem of my own. Eek, a freak! The class looks at me funny. Miss Brooks says, well, it's a start. All year long, Miss Brooks reads us books. Books about dragons and pilgrims and presidents. Books about love and leprechauns. Groundhogs even. It's vexing. Then, in May, Miss Brooks tells us something truly terrifying. Book Week! You each need to pick a favorite story to share with the class. I want you to wear a costume and tell us all about it. Really show us why you love it, she says. It's Book Week! I'll never love a book the way you do, I tell Miss Brooks. Don't be so sure, she says. When I get home, I ask my mother if we can move to a new town. My mother says there's a librarian in every town. I ask if she wants to do my assignment for me. I've already been in first grade, says my mother. Every single day of Book Week, kids share stories about trains and fairies and cowboys and dogs. Every single day of Book Week, kids share stories about trains and fairies and cowboys and dogs. Then the flower fairy flew out. Giddy up, yippee-yi-yo! So he just said, woof. When Miss Brooks asks what I think, I say, too flowery, too furry, too clickety, too yippity. So Miss Brooks fills my bag with more books for me to read with my mom. But I don't like any of them. They're too kissy, too pink, and too silly, I tell my mother. You're as stubborn as a wart, she says. Warts? I want to read a story with warts, I shouted. Warts! My mother finds a book called Shrek. Shrek has hairs on his nose and he snorts. I love that. Can you read it again, I asked? Snort, snort, snort. Snort, snort, snort. I love this book. I have to practice the words over and over, but my mother helps. Then we make an ogre costume. I make stick-on words for the whole class. When I get to school the next day, I ask Miss Brooks to lend me a hand. When I say the word snort, the whole class snorts. I explain why a stubborn, smelly, snorty ogre searching for a revolting bride makes me laugh. Snort, 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 snort. Miss Brooks says she's glad I found a book to love. She says that even ogres, like me, can sometimes find something funny and fantastic and appalling in the library. And that is the slimy truth. Thanks everyone for listening to Storytime with Lorelei again. You know, I always say, if you can't wait to find out what happens on the next page, you're reading the wrong book. You need to read books that you like. So think about what kind of movie you would watch and ask your librarian for a book in that genre. There are lots of good books in the library. Go and ask your librarian to help you find a good fit book, one that is just the right book for you. See you next time, friends. Bye.